현지, 연지, 해, and 현식. Have you experienced the fact that there are some cases it was hard to persuade people in rational, logical ways? For those situations, we are going to tell you the most effective strategy, emotional appeals. There are 10 points in our presentation. First, love and hatred will be presented by me, and mercy and grief will be presented by Hyunji, and shame and pride will be presented by Yeonji, and fear and hope will be presented by Hei, and last, contentment and desire presented by Hyunji. So, let's move on to first part, love and hatred. The love appeals to the heart toward families, friends, or others. For example, if you are a staff of an insurance company, by using this strategy, you can persuade your clients to make a contract more effectively than just explaining the contents. Also, love extends to the people well known. For example, is the motive for sending foods to other countries or feeling compassion for other people. Next, hatred. Hatred appeals to emotion toward enemy. Sometimes these methods contain insult or contempt to arouse passion against enemy. Let's assume that you're a general of a country and you're going to use this strategy at your address. You can say, General, we have had a long battle with enemy. The enemy massacred friends and even families. The attack opponents shall not go unpunished. Leaving no enemy survive is indispensable for peace. We will bring them to justice. This kind of statement stalls the emotion of audience effectively. Next part will be presented by Hyunji.
I will explain mercy and grief. Mercy is an effective way to entertain speeches. If you are so nervous when you give a speech, you can use humor definitions, quotations, and longer illustrations to ventilate an atmosphere. But sometimes a one-liner causes a chuckle. For example, if you have a finer class in your university and you have to give a speech that day, you can say, I'm so glad that I'm making a finer presentation today, but I'm so sad because this is the last chance to have a presentation and meet professor. Okay, there's a lady. Who will do a final exam and then you will see Professor again next semester. Then you can give a speech more smoothly. But do not use humor which can make some people upset. Remember that most audiences enjoy appropriate humor. Next, however, grief is an also effective way to persuade people. When Abraham Lincoln gave a speech in his Gettysburg Address, appeal to grief in his Gettysburg Address, many people are impressed and followed him. As you can see, sharing the emotion of grief with your audience can lead many agreements. Next speaker is Yeonji.
Now I'm going to talk about pride and shame. First, pride is a feeling of self-respect and satisfaction with own achievements. Therefore, pride keeps people from discouragement. For example, let's say that a leader is cheering up the employees by sharing her pride. A leader can say that subordinates are working hard and they are making a company profitable, and convincing them that they are taking an important role. In contrast, shame is a quite different emotion appealing. Shame is a feeling of disgrace when other people think that poorly of us. Can you imagine how this feeling can appeal to others? By regretting something can lead to a better result. For example, let's say there was dishonorable accident, just like a crime in a city. A mayor of a crime speaker can persuade people by appealing by a shame. He can say that everybody have a responsibility of security and the city must be protected by people. So therefore, he can also emphasize that let's cooperate together to make a better city. By these examples, we can know shame and pride can be a powerful motivator in the right situation. Next speaker is Hey.
Okay, thank you, Yanji. Let's move on to hope and fear. First, hope is the expectations of things are getting better. And hope is used when you motivate people to work harder or encourage people to achieve their goals. So for example, if we got a terrible grade at our test, we usually believe that if we study harder, we can get a better grade. But if we believe that our grades are always low, always same, regardless about our effort, we wouldn't study harder than previous examples. So hope is the driving force of people's life, and it makes people keep going. And secondly is fear. So fear is when you use persuade people or encourage people. So for example, let's imagine we are going around the Tichidong. There are a lot of private academy institutions, and there are a lot of advertisements about that. And some advertisements are usually said, if students don't study at their academy, the students' grade is going down. So it is that they use the fear of low grade to the students. But however, some of advertisements can say, if students are studying in their academy, the student can overcome the weakness subject, and also student get a high grade. So it is they use the fear of weakness subjects, and also they use the hope of high grade. So you can know that when you use the fear at the public speakings, the fear and hope is the complementary role at the speaking. Next presenter is Hyunshik, and he will talk about the desire and contentment, and also some of our presentations.
And the last speaker, Hyunshik. I'll explain the last two types of emotional appeal, desire and contentment. Speaker usually try to appeal by arousing some sort of passion for achieving something. This method is using an appeal of desire. For example, our homeroom teacher Ms. Cho often asks us how much we want to go to the university. Right? Contentment is the opposite to the method of desire. Speaker uses this method when he or she wants to avoid change. The tip to use this method is to make audience feel satisfied with past events. Think of a situation that our class president wants to get re-elected next year. She will probably say this. Do you remember how hard I worked last year? Or we got many praised by teachers, and so on. In the end, we have come up with many methods of using emotional appeal. Emotional appeal is useful when you want to convince listeners. Sometimes it is more persuasive and effective than giving just example or comparing if used properly. With this method in mind, I hope that your presentation become more persuasive than others. Thank you.